Hi, folks. My name is Mary Purvis, and I'm Science Department Chair here at CVTC in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how the Science Department has been using OERs over the last 8 years. Now, personally, I started using an OER textbook in the fall of 2013. I teach physics, and the Openstacks physics textbook was the very first Openstacks book that came out. Physics is a pretty stable subject. It doesn't change very much through time. I was a little nervous about using an open textbook at first, but I was looking for the perfect book. And you know what? Over time, I never found the perfect textbook. I love the fact that it was a free download, and I love the fact that students could buy a hardcover book if they wanted something print in their hands for them to use at home. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I've been using that book, and my other physics colleagues have been using it ever since. I love using an OER textbook for a lot of reasons. One, it's very convenient for the instructor. I got so frustrated and I felt like I was on this constant, continuous textbook merry-go-round because as authors would change editions, what would happen is they would change what was in chapter 3, they would put it in chapter 4, and then they'd change editions and they'd say, oh, I'm going to rearrange all the problems from chapter 5 and I'm going to put them in chapter 6. I was doing all of this busy work, and all this busy work had nothing to do with student learning. I was just changing things around because the author changed things around, and it was making me a little goofy. I could keep assignments the same year after year after year. So I made a packet of information. Those are my problems, and those are the problems that my students do semester after semester. My study guides, my thinking questions are all in there. They are also available online, so students can access them for free, keeping the whole course OER. They also can buy them in a paper form from the bookstore if they like paper. So I like versatility for my students because we have many kinds of learners. I love an OER textbook, especially as we've lived through the pandemic of the last few years, because it's simple. It's simple for our students. No waiting in line at the bookstore, no waiting for a book to come through the mail, no waiting for that elusive financial aid check. We've all heard those stories as instructors. Oh, I can't get a book yet because I don't have my financial aid check. So it keeps instructors really happy because it takes away the excuses. Hey, the book's free online, access it, there you go. So it really helps start a semester smoothly. I think having an OER works well for those of us who are ambitiously lazy. I love using my husband as an example of someone who is ambitiously lazy. He's not this kind of person who wants to carry one grocery bag at a time and make 10 trips. No, that's not what we do. We carry all the grocery bags in at once. Now, sometimes the bread gets squished, but by golly, we're going to carry them all in at once. That's kind of like producing an OER or transitioning to an OER. It is a lot of work up front, but over time it's going to save you time and it's going to save you work in the long run. I have found it has saved me so much time that I now have time to be creative. I can contextualize lessons for my various programs that I work with. In physics, I work with ultrasound and automation and mechanical design. And I can work with those programs more clearly because I'm not chasing that silly textbook merry-go-round every couple years when some author wants to buy a new bass boat and make some more money. I can add current and relevant material immediately instead of waiting for a new book to come out. So it really works well for me. Over time at CVTC, we have adapted many other OER textbooks, specifically Openstacks. We use them for all our anatomy and physiology sections, which is almost 20 sections a year. We use them for all of our chemistry sections, both general and our liberal arts sections. Our Prep for Basic Biology course uses the Concepts of Biology Openstacks textbook. Now, some of our instructors have gone so far as to say, do we have to have a textbook? What's magical about a textbook? If you and I want to know something, we very often look online, pick up our phones, check in with Google, and look it up online. Well, you know what? That's how the modern age works, and that's how our students think. So For these courses here at CVTC, Biochemistry, Human Reproductive Biology, Salon Science, Science for Tech Trades, and Wellness, we have eliminated a traditional textbook. All of the materials are embedded within our Canvas course. This is from a page from my physics class, and here is the study guide for a particular chapter on forces. Students can print this or they can fill it out right on the computer and submit it. This is a packet I made for our Salon Science course, which is for our cosmetology program. This is not a published textbook. This is all of the handouts, the learning, the study guide, very contextualized, exactly what students need. And all of the resources are online. Many of them are links to outside web sources, which is what students are going to do. They are going to look online because isn't that what you and I do? It makes sense to move with the time and think like modern students. One of our fabulous instructors, Christina Novak, during the pandemic took it upon herself to create a libretext for our Prep for Basic Chemistry course. We offer multiple sections of this course every year, and we were using a textbook that retailed for $200 per book. LibreText is a tool that she learned about working with our library faculty, and it allows you to remix some free online material. She customized it exactly for us, exactly what topics and in the order. She added homework questions that fit our material. A lot of the material was already there, so she could cut and paste it, package it in exactly the chapters, in exactly the order we wanted it in. And then once it was there, we could put it into our basic chemistry courses. Now, this is my version of the basic chemistry course. I allow my students, I provide it right in the beginning of the course that students can download the entire book for free. I also place it in every chapter, specific links to the exact portions of the textbook they need. No cost to them. It really is just in time learning. This week, this is week 2, these are the sections you need to learn. It's absolutely phenomenal. Just by Christina's efforts working with this LibreText book, we save our students at least $72,000 a year for this one course. It's phenomenal. Another thing that we've been working on is when COVID occurred, like many other people, it's like, okay, now what do? We had been using lab science kits from noted vendors for our online courses. Well, by June of 2020, we started talking to vendors for the fall 2020 semester, and they said, nope, no more kits. We're not taking any more orders. And we were like, okay, what do we do? So some fabulous instructors that I work with said, we're going to make our own. We're going to make our own kits. We used some funding, Grant Cares funding, and these fabulous science instructors built our own kits, wrote their own experiments, and our goal was to keep the hands-on learning for our lab science courses. Well, it worked beautifully, and it worked so very well that CVTC is expanding it. They've donated some space, some little used space. We are using some more of those CARES grant funding to buy raw materials, and the goal is to keep this self-sustaining and keep going. Students check out these lab kits, return them at the end of the semester, so our online science classes will then be OER. If you've ever worked with some of these online science lab kits, some of these kits can be $350, for example, for like the chemistry kit. These kits are so amazing that for biology, the students actually get sent home a microscope. These are amazing labs that students can do in the comfort of their home, and we are working towards making these an OER self-sustaining situation. So we're really proud of the work that we're doing. Through all the work that we've acquired and accomplished over the last 8 years of working on our OER initiatives, we estimate that annually, just the science department saves students approximately $500,000. That is not chicken feed. We are very proud of what we've accomplished. What are we working on? One of our instructors is currently working on creating another LibreText for environmental science. This lab science kit program is we're doing it this right now, and we're hoping to expand it, and we are examining all of the other science courses to see what can we do next. So personally, we wish you all the best on your OER journey, and good luck with it. It's very fulfilling, and there's nothing better than having students say, hey, thank you for having a free online book. Thank you.